What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Guy explained how useless they were in their current state. Guy's standards appeared to be a little odd. Misery and Rain, according to what I've heard, are primordials, like Testarossa and the rest. To say they are useless would be an understatement. The more I considered it, the more uncomfortable it made me feel to be so close to an idiot who would purposefully annoy Guy. So be it. The only thing left to do was to determine whether there were enough souls.
Only Misery and Rain need to be awakened, correct?
Right. How many souls are required, then?
The amount was 10,000 in the case of self-awakening and 100,000 in the case of evolving a minion through the soul lineage. Since they were an unrelated third party, I had to assume that it would be even less effective in this situation. Let's now evaluate the quantity required for.
Answer: 500,000.
500,000? 250,000 each individual? Even 2.5 times as many as those that evolved through a soul corridor, or 25 times more than typical. Although that was a lot, if Wisdom King Raphael-san said it was necessary, it must be.
500,000 souls, in my opinion, would be sufficient.
Oh, is that all you require? If that's the case, what I have saved should be enough to keep me from killing any more humans.
Do you have it? And if you didn't have enough, what were you going to do?
Really? Oh, that's good.
I could do nothing but laugh dryly. I would have had to make a last-ditch effort to stop Guy if it had come to that. I was relieved that it did not occur, but when I considered how many people have already been killed, I felt conflicted. Just a difference in values, really. In my heart, I hoped that in the future, there would be no conflicts of interest. Benimaru and Shuna became anxious as they observed Guy and I talking. I made the decision that I didn't have to keep my chat with Guy a secret from them.
The situation is how it is, so kindly go get our visitors.
Diablo and Xian were also present. Guy was enjoying some cake and in a good mood. He had already consumed 3 pieces of cake. He really seemed to enjoy it. He behaved as though his job was finished as soon as he handed me the 500,000 souls. I've previously spoken with Wisdom King Raphael-san to check that all the requirements have been met. But I wonder whether this is because I lack the necessary perspective. Shuna returned with Misery and Rain as I was considering this.
The cake was excellent, Demon Lord Rimuru-sama. We are overjoyed to learn that you are eager to share your recipes with us.
It was Rain's acknowledgement and Misery's effusive admiration. It appears that the discourse was well conveyed to Shuna, with whom they were similarly courteous. How about foregoing a pointless game of betting on the world if you can be so joyful about something like that? The world is indeed abound with surprises. These two seemed to be the ideal housekeepers. They didn't have Xian's destructive palate, and they seemed to pick up their skill extremely rapidly. However, they would first need to go through the rite of passage in evolution.
Thank you for your kind words. I'm hoping that our collaboration will endure in the future.
Collaboration was essential. I'm hoping they'll see that being biased was unacceptable.
You guys, Rimuru will give you power. You ought to show gratitude more.
And you ought to. I bit back the words and gave Misery and Rain a friendly grin.
I imagine you'll be seduced into a sleep known as the Harvest Festival. As a comment on evolution, you are welcome to stay here for a few days because it will be difficult to return in that condition.
Guy and his buddies had arrived via Misery's portal to the outside of the labyrinth. They were then invited into the labyrinth with Ramirez's approval. After the evolution process, it would be challenging to enter the labyrinth again. I would make sure to set aside a room for them because I didn't believe Guy would be gracious enough to take them back to the labyrinth. Besides.
Are you sure?
Of course. So kindly send Guy and Velzard-san home first.
So, that was the plan. I would like to ask Guy to depart now that the discussions have been effectively concluded.
No, it can't be all that difficult. Give those two some power and don't worry about them. I'll take them back.
Eh? I was so shocked by Guy's sudden response that I almost yelled. Not just myself, but Misery and Rain as well, who were also involved, had a shocked look on their faces. Their looks told me that Guy wasn't going to do anything for them. It implied that Guy had his own goals in mind. It was a pain in the butt, to be honest. I wanted Guy to leave because I didn't want him to witness my strength. I mean, I had a thought at this point. Guy and I might actually be similar, contrary to what I had previously assumed. If it were me, I would watch him do it and ask Wisdom King Raphael-san to help me try to duplicate it. Even if I couldn't duplicate it, I would need the details to prepare a defense. From this vantage point, there was a good chance that Guy intended to take the same action. If that's the case, I should keep Guy from learning more about my strategy. He might already be aware of it, though.
Answer: no problem. Only gluttonous King Beelzebub is being revealed as per your request. The remaining information is concealed.
That was really fantastic. Even Guy can be deceived if I leave it up to Wisdom King Raphael-san. Even yet, I sometimes go too far in being cautious. I thus hope that no further information will be revealed.
You're welcome to remain, don't worry. Please don't hesitate because we have lots of rooms available.
This could not be negotiated. Without a doubt, Guy wanted to look at my skills. I can't stand to display my playing cards alone. No matter what, I had to get Guy out of here. Guy and I exchanged smiles while secretly fighting a fierce psychological battle. The door to the room slammed open at that very moment.
Rimuru, I've been looking for you. I need you to bring back the control room surveillance video because it has vanished.
That's correct. There are individuals here working with you to keep an eye on the world.
It sounded like Veldora and Ramirez were having a good time. However, we were in the midst of an important discussion, so presumably they could read the vibe. Furthermore, that space was used for war planning, not for playing. Even though the war is still going on, all you guys want to do is find out where to play on the big screen. I could continue forever. However, I am unable to complain at this time because I am to blame. We'd have fun after the war, I had stated the other day. The two of them had been debating where to go ever since. Both of them have lived long lives, but they have never been around the world. They were much more enthused about this than I was, which may have been caused by their desire to travel, so the two of them had made it a habit to spend their free time taking in the sights of the world utilizing my physical magic, Argus. The cheap surveillance magic may be operational constantly. Furthermore, anyone could quickly change their point of view. The ability to project a view of a sizable area was achievable, but it was impossible to project an image from any place in the world. The magic effect would, however, inevitably fade if it was used excessively.
I'll be there later. Please be patient until then.
Later, I would have to tell them to behave themselves around guests. Parental or guardian responsibility was involved in this. Not that I intended to join them in looking things over, but it was vital to lecture them about their future. So let's just leave it at that. Veldora will have to leave for the time being, because I'm now negotiating with Guy.
Hey, is that Guy there? What are you trying to do with Rimuru?
Ramirez identified Guy. After that came Veldora.
You seem to be enjoying yourself, Veldora-chan.
Whoa, my sister, why are you here?
I expected you to have matured a bit, but it appears you are still being as boisterous as ever. Even so, it's fantastic that you've mastered taking on human shape. Additionally, you appear to be in terrific health considering that you were just unsealed.
I'm happy to hear that you look well, too.
The jovial mood had entirely altered, and Veldora felt tense. Veldora seemed to feel differently than Velzard, who seemed to be kind.
We haven't seen each other in a long time, so I'd like to take some time to talk.
No. I am aware of how busy you are, and since I also have job to do, I don't have much free time.
Don't stress over it. Guy and Rimuru-sama's story is going to be long, so let's take our time and talk.
The term, take our time, was emphasized by Velzard-san. She was prepared to utterly disregard Veldora's statement that he had job to accomplish. Veldora gave me a help-wanting expression, so I raised my voice and gave a firm nod.
Good luck.
Please let me use the room next door, Rimuru-sama.
Could I ever say no to Velzard-san's lovely smile? I'm afraid not.
Yes, of course. Take your time. I know you two will have a lot to discuss.
That was all I had to say. Goodbye, Veldora. I won't soon forget your courage. Veldora was dejected as he realized he could no longer rely on my assistance. Ramirez was instantly and firmly grasped by his hands as they moved quickly.
Hey, hold on, Master. I am not involved with this in any way.
Please, do not abandon me.
I was persuaded by his sorrowful demeanor that Veldora and his sister must not get along. It seemed more like fear than not getting along. Talking about having trouble getting along with sisters, my friend from a past life was the same way. She is a dictator. He used to whine like that, but with a more enlightened expression on his face. Even a true dragon, I suppose, might resemble a human. In fact, he had been engaged in a heated debate about who was more unfortunate than those who disliked their younger brothers. I only had an elder brother, therefore it's none of my concern. They must have been on the same side, I suppose. Veldora exuded the same vibe as they did. I instantly had a memory of something. At the time, Veldora and I were conversing informally. We were debating where to go, and Veldora was obstinately opposed to the notion of heading to the north. He had made some sort of justification about how cold it was there, but I knew that was unnatural coming from someone who didn't really experience the cold. I started to wonder if he did that because he was aware Velzard-san was there. I started to feel more sympathy for Veldora as I observed him grasping the door and pleading with me not to leave with a deathly expression on his face. I was about to leave him, but I changed my mind because I didn't want to get caught in the crossfire. However, if it didn't succeed, I would give up and let things go.
Gi, I believe you guys reside further north than the kingdom of Ingratia.
Yes, they refer to it as the frozen continent, here.
Since I do not inhibit my mana, there is no longer a habitat for living things there. I try to keep the weak away since Gi doesn't like them.
Not only Gi answered, but Velzard did as well, turning to face me while placing her hand on Veldora's shoulder. This is good, I told myself, and inquired once again.
Is Velzard-san's power, by chance, a cold air type?
I'm not sure if the term cold air is correct, but judging by the outcomes, it would appear to be.
Okay, then there's absolutely no room for doubt. It seems unexpected that Veldora, who exudes confidence and is unafraid of the world, would experience a difficult situation.
Is it true that Veldora struggles to deal with Velzard-san?
Don't be so foolish. There's nothing I can't do well.
Try not to be so stern. Not now, not at this time. You'll just do more harm.
Isn't that true? I mean, I have been looking after him pretty well.
Velzard smiled impeccably as she spoke. She was confident beyond a shadow of a doubt that she was bad at what she did.
When the infant Veldora-chan went on the attack, I quickly killed and rebuilt him. I halted his motions, got him to be calm, and then preached to him gently when he was still on the loose after being reborn. The harm he did was too great. He was a troubled kid who couldn't be humanized. The situation would have gotten considerably worse if I hadn't cleaned up the mess.
Velzard referred to numerous earlier actions as if to imply that she had done a fantastic job. It was challenging not to cry when listening to the account. Without a doubt, that is why this happened.
You've gone through a lot, Veldora.
You got it, Rimuru. Do you finally get it?
Yes, that makes sense. It's understandable why he became resentful. It was unfortunate that she wasn't intentionally trying to hurt anyone. Veldora would be terrified for a very long time if this misunderstanding, or Velzard's assumption, was not cleared up. Veldora was Veldora, too. His overconfidence would make it impossible for him to stand up to Velzard. The relationship would not go well if this act of strength continued. This type of situation is a true dragon relationship, correct? That is irrelevant, though.
Velzard-san, I don't want to make you sound like a stranger, but Veldora doesn't like you very much.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Jared Bressler, Chad Vota, Ray Perez, Chris Guzman, Havox, Speed Saber, James Waters, Arijit Das, Curtis Loban, Judah Herrera, Justa Guy, Miss L.W. Hernandez, Benjamin Villar, Zach Rossan, Byron, Jason Martin, Donald Williams, Moab A, Day of Light, John M, John Charles, Godman Gaming, Akon Engok, Markithian Tidwell, Andre L. Hamilton, Adrian, Kumo, Sanketh Chelu, T. Bush, John L, Masiaj Besaraba, Tojum, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Gonse Direco, Thomas, J, Christ, Juan Ignacio, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Vethelny, Lunel Scarlett, Khaled, Christian Deshazer, Cal Robs, Divine C. Harris, Destiny Smith, Panda Cats, Aaron Alarcon, DeAndre Nance, Monty Boy 98, D-Man, Wise Viking, Ruben, Luis Guerrero, Yuki Iki, Pedro Robles, Chris Jr., Isaac, Shadow Wolf 660, Koala King 93, Devon, Little 95, Coyote de Peza, Quilly Buckner, Zephyrus, Alver, Normal Defate, Joshua Andrade, Jaya Keshav, L, Gary Miles, Nobody 0034, Dragon Spawn 666, Alex Gomez, J Rule, Sayonori, Alfredo Renteria, Liel Tiram, Liron Sangkap, Eric Tass, Christopher Mash, Edward Garcia, Echo Tski, Sri Nanduri, Foolish Prophets, Ethan Madison, Louis Strutter, Charles Bailey, Funky Junkie 22, Sky T, Diego Ginoza, Nick H, Andre Hamilton, Jason Torres, Sesh, Guy Ansley, Simon Road, Emperor WSA, Mika Espinosa, George Hage, Pratik Bandari, Arod Dare, Von Joseph, Deriha Skerte, Jackson Early, Carl Stephen Bernadal, Tank Bailey, Gareth Hashimoto, SPT Mighty, Steven Madison, Homelike Drop, Fazli Topadar, Nasir, Mam Wang Min, Vasto Lord, Martin Ramos, Marl Barsha, Aditya Vyas, Andrew Lu, Ralph Ignacio, Fawaz Zala, Chris Nelson, Karen, Mark Charlie Els, Hansel Ortega, Karam Faraj, Yellow Wally, Efrain Hernandez, Luca Gaming WTF, William Locke. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.